Hi, I'm David and welcome back to DeliBytes. Today we're in part 2 of our series of video troubleshooting questions, and we're going to address a number of the questions that we quite often hear when it comes to video drafts. That is the early unfinished versions of video files that we're sending you for you to review and give us feedback on. So let's jump into it. So one of the most common things we hear is that my draft looks unfinished, the color's weird, the sound's off, it doesn't look or sound as good as it should. That's the way it's meant to be. That's why we call it a draft. It's unfinished. So you'll quite often find that, particularly with cameras nowadays, the color will be quite washed out. That's just a thing that cameras natively do these days, so you have as much flexibility as possible when you're adjusting it during the color grading and correction periods. So really don't worry about the color, the saturation or anything like that in the early versions. Just look at the content. Same with audio. It won't be mixed, it won't be mastered. So just continually focus on, is the content what I'm wanting to get across? Is the tone right? Those are the big picture questions whenever you're shown a draft. All the technical stuff is going to come into play much later on because it's a very finicky process and the cut needs to be locked. One of the second things we hear quite often is there's a weird voice in the music in the draft that you've sent to me. Can you get rid of it or use a different track? This is an audio watermark. Because we're typically using stock music in most of the video projects we do, a lot of the websites that we source music from protect that music from being stolen by giving us a file that has typically the name of the website being said out loud numerous times through the file, the music file that we're given. So it's really nothing to worry about. It's just there to protect whoever created the music, and as soon as we complete the final video, we're going to get a full polished version of the track that won't have that watermark there. So if you hear anything, just ignore it, pretend it isn't there. It's all going to be addressed later on. And finally, one of the other things we quite often hear is that my draft is struggling in playback. There must be something wrong with the video that you've created for us. We always review the files that we send out, so we know that you're getting the best possible version. We will typically send drafts in Vimeo, so it's quite likely if you're having interruptions with playback that the problem isn't with the video file itself, that it's actually with your internet connection. Considering particularly in Australia, our internet can be garbage in certain areas. I'd recommend trying to go somewhere with a better internet connection to check it, or try it on a different computer just in case you're having problems. But trust us, that isn't an issue with the file, particularly if you're watching a video on Vimeo. It's just like if you had issues watching back a video on YouTube or Facebook or any other online platform. So I hope this has been helpful. If you do have any more questions, let us know in the comment section below, or get in touch with us on delyagency.com.